Hi Nando.
Hello.
Thanks for taking the time to sit down and chat. You've recently gained quite a lot of popularity on the internet. You've gone viral with some great training videos that you made. Can you explain a little bit more about them and the inspiration behind them?
So the inspiration was, the first one was the shot collar video, and it was very much a case of dealing with behaviour consultations where I was seeing shot collars on a regular basis. Out in Spain they're sold by vets. It's quite a popular way to deal with problem barking, so I was getting frustrated. I finally came across one where I convinced the owner to take a different route, and I got that collar. I was actually donated it by somebody else, and it was a very quick 30-second thought. I'm going to take this and have a little bit of a dig at the shot collar trainers, and I did it. And of course, all the plus R guys picked up on it and just went, "I love it." So yeah, it went viral very quickly.
And you've now done a series of them. There's a check chain one. I saw the dominance alpha roll one. That's your boy Zeus, yeah?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we did a series because I thought, well, there's a bit of a gap here. We could do something with this, and I thought rather than try and do it myself, I'll get people on board that other people actually know.
Yeah.
So I was really cheeky and approached some great trainers that I really look up to, and I was very, very lucky that they all went, yeah, I'm up for this.
So you're making a pretty big name for yourself. You're promoting, well, I think you are anyway. I don't know many people who've got that kind of spread of popularity. So you're making a name for yourself. You're obviously a very good trainer. I've seen you in action. Excellent trainer. Were you always a dog trainer? Was this always your passion?
No, not at all. I had dogs as a kid. I had the family dog, but I was a Royal Marine since I left school. I joined the Marines on my 16th birthday, and I was there for 6 years, and I loved it, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more.
Something different.
Yeah. Something different. So there was a bit of a gap, and then I bought a dog for the wrong reasons, but she was really good, really easy, and then she loved people, loved dogs, and I thought, well, this is easy, I'll get another one. And I got another one, which was a big problem case, and the more that I delved into it, the more I wanted to learn about it, and I really got addicted to trying to find out more, and I still am. I'm a bit of a courseaholic.
But I think that's a mark of someone who has the potential to be great. They keep learning, they keep evolving, they keep learning what is out there and the ideas behind them. So did you solve the case?
No, to say that we cured him or solved him would be absolutely wrong. In fact, what happened was you've called me the double crossover.
Yeah, you're a double crosser. That's a new phrase, the Nando Brown double cross. Yeah.
So I actually started with someone that was very academic, was held in high regard, but was terrified of dogs, or was certainly terrified of my dog, and had no people skills whatsoever.
Which, as we know, is a really important part of training and behaviour.
Yeah. So he had no people skills, and I found that without that support and without that help, he almost packed my bags and sent me to the old school, if you like. And then I was taught to helicopter dogs and use choke chains and all that kind of stuff, which was not natural to me.
Yeah. But
that's where I ended up.
Now, was it with that dog that you then crossed back over into positive reinforcement, or was it your next dog that...
Do you know, I started to see the light, if you like. Hallelujah. I started to see the light towards the end of that dog's life. And the day that I put him to sleep was the day that I promised I would never, ever treat a dog the way that I treated him.
And was that the time when you thought, was the impetus for becoming a dog trainer, I need to go out there and help other people who've been in the same situation, or was it just purely out of interest in the subject?
I was already a dog trainer by that time.
Okay.
I was but an old school trainer. I started assisting, I started helping classes, then taking classes, and it went from there really. And but he's the absolute reason that, you know, we come to places like this and have a crack in 3 days. So, you know, it's
just to clarify for anyone out there watching, we're at the WOOF conference being held. Chirag Patel organised it. Great 3 days, amazing speakers. Are we going to see you as the speaker next year?
I don't know about that. I've been invited to do a trick dog seminar for Karen Wild, so
awesome.
That should be very interesting.
Because you're actually starting to run training for trainers.
Well, I've done training for trainers for a little while, but just recently I've become an assessor for the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers.
Steve Mann's
organisation. A very, very good quality organisation, and we're going to be running IMDT courses in Spain.
Because you moved to Spain, was it last year or?
A couple of years ago now.
Yeah, and
so,
what's it like? What's the comparison? You know, we have a very set way in England of dealing with our dogs, and we have this expectation of dog ownership. How does it differ from that in Spain?
Well, the expectation is very different. There's a lot more sun.
Yeah, always a good thing.
Always a good thing. But there's also a lot more aversive training. There's a lot more prong collars, a lot more shock collars, and a lot more choke chains.
Now, is that because there are no positive reinforcement trainers, or is that just lack of education, or is it cultural? Where do you think?
I think it's partly cultural. I think that some of the older generations of the Spanish are same as the older English generations are. It's an animal, you know. Its place isn't in the home. I think it's also partly down to the lack of information available. So, not all over Spain, but certainly in the south of Spain, there's a very, very limited amount of positive reinforcement trainers, and even fewer force-free trainers.
Yeah, because there is a difference.
100%.
Yeah.
And
I think making that distinction, I know a few trainers who have said, oh yeah, I'm positive reinforcement, and actually when you look at what they're doing, yes, they do train with positive reinforcement. There's a lot of positive punishment going on there, still on check chains. So people do need to be careful of what they're looking at when they look at a trainer.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have a dog training facility where you do training, behaviour.
We do training, behaviour. My other half is a groomer.
Fantastic. Complete package.
Complete package. We manufacture and sell our own dog food.
Wow.
We have a pet lodge. We pretty much do everything to do with dogs, bar veterinary stuff.
And you have a radio show, iTalk FM?
iTalk FM every Saturday morning, but soon we're probably going to move that to a Sunday evening. I get to speak to some of the biggest guests in the industry. So it's a very informal natter, and it's a real pleasure for me.
And I must say, it's actually quite refreshing. I've listened to the show a few times, and you've actually had people from the dark side, as we call it, and it's quite interesting. You're a very moderate interviewer. You know, I think that some of us will have a real problem getting quite passionate and, you know, you're wrong, do it this way, do it this way. And I've listened to the interviews and I've heard a couple of them. Towards the end, they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe that. And I think that's great. It's great that there's someone out there who is doing a show that covers everything, that says, look, these are the two sides of it. Make your own decisions. Let's put the questions to people. Let's see what comes back.
Well, I think, you know, a lot of dog trainers are very, they're great with dogs, and certainly for myself, I used to be rubbish with people. And it's a skill you've got to learn. It's something, you know, same as you learn it with the dogs. And I don't think it's fair to use positive punishment on people when, but from my point of view, let me put it this way, the only reason I used choke chains was because I didn't think there was anything else available. So I think if you give people an option, most people don't want to use that kind of stuff.
No, they don't want to be, you know, constantly building a negative relationship with their dog.
It has an effect on your relationship. So, you know, nobody gets a dog because they don't love it.
No, good point. No one gets a dog to have a bad relationship with.
Absolutely.
So, radio show, viral on YouTube. You've got your pet lodge, you've got your training classes, Donna doing her grooming. Where are you going next? What happens next with the Nando Brown story?
Well, there are a few things in the pipeline.
Okay.
So depending on when you air this, I don't know if I can tell you. I can say that we've just signed an agreement with the Pet Professional Guild for a new radio show.
Fantastic.
Which will be on a slightly different route to the iTalk show.
Yeah.
But
will you still do the iTalk show alongside?
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I think I can't tell you any more yet.
So I think keep your eyes out, people. Nando Brown coming to you soon in some form of media or another. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat, and it's been great to catch up.
Thank you very much.